You are an African American, so this is a rare conversation. Two black men having a conversation about guns in America. I've said many, many times over and over again that if you really want to solve the gun control problem, for folk who think there is a problem, and I think there is a gun issue in this country, you and I disagree, I think there is a gun issue. I've said many times, Colion, if you want to solve the problem, just give every Negro in America a gun. If you really want to solve the problem, just arm every black person in America, and I can guarantee you these white folk and other folk will behave themselves and change their behavior in a heartbeat. Why don't we just arm everybody? Like the Wild Wild West, give everybody a gun and all this stuff stops.
Try it out and see what happens.
What do you think would happen?
I think nothing would happen, honestly. Because they're already doing it. That's the funny thing. It's like with the media, they conflate this notion and they push this idea out there that black people aren't owning guns, and I hate it. I'm tired of it. You're contradicting your own argument. A few moments ago, you said that in a place like Chicago, the laws keep Negroes from having guns. Now you're trying to tell me that every Negro has a gun. Which one is it? I never said the laws in Chicago prevent Negroes from having guns.
You did. You suggested the gun laws in Illinois make it difficult.
I suggested the good people who are living in these environments, right, who follow law, right, they are law-abiding citizens,
right.
When you have strict gun laws like they do in places like Chicago,
that's what I said.
Yes, it prevents them from owning firearms. However,
that's what I said.
What I'm saying on top of that is the places where people are allowed to own firearms. Black people, because black people don't just live in Southside Chicago.
That's true.
so the places where we live, where you're allowed to own guns, like here in Texas, the black people I know, they have guns. They do. So it begs the question. It's like I put it like this. I put it like this. I, as a young black man, I remember when I first got into guns. This is prior to me doing whatever it is that I do with the NRA, so forth and so on.
Right.
I remember I was like, I want to get into competition shooting.
Right.
And my mindset was, man, I'm about to go out here in this backwoods and there's some country bumpkin, racist rednecks who basically, as soon as lynch me is before they let me shoot in this competition, right?
Right.
But I was raised by a mother who taught me, if them, why not you?
Mm-hmm.
That's the phrase she beat in my head. And wasn't necessarily talking about white people, just anything in general.
I'm with
if them, why not you?
I'm with your mama.
So I had this kind of blind naivete to the idea that somebody may not want me there, right? Because I've experienced my own set of racism.
Sure.
So when I got there, I had this pre-established mentality of what I was going to get, right? And when I got there, I got the complete opposite. The complete opposite. Now, granted, my story is anecdotal, right? But it is not. It's something that I hear over and over and over again from my brothers who go out there and say, you know what, I don't really give a damn. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cuss on the show, but
go ahead, you can do that.
Okay. Who say I don't really give a damn what people think. I have a passion for firearms. I'm going to go out there and engage in that passion, and I'm going to go out there and shoot competitions and do those things. And when they go there, they receive nothing but love.
Right.
Because by and large, to be honest with you, a lot of white people in the gun street don't really care what you do. The only thing that matters is you both share the same love for the very thing that we love. Which is firearms.
I have two responses to that. Number one, I'm still laughing at your use of the word damn as if that's offensive. You said a whole lot more that's a lot more offensive than damn in this conversation to people about guns in America. I mean, but I'm being somewhat funny here. I'm just saying relax, brothers. some of your positions have been more offensive than the use of the word damn is the only point I'm trying to make. But the second point is
sometimes reality can be offensive. No, but it doesn't discount the fact that it's reality.
No, well, and I take that, but your reality ain't everybody else's reality. That's all I'm saying. But I think fundamentally we disagree on this last thing. I do believe, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, that if you gave every Negro in America a gun, you and I totally disagree on what the outcome of that would be. I think that things would fundamentally change. I think that they want some folk to have guns, other folk not to have guns, and we just disagree on that, brother.
Well, so then from that perspective, we're going to take things to the logical conclusion. Mm-hmm. You disagree with me on the gun issue, and you do believe that if you arm every Negro in this country, that they be advocating for gun control right off the bat. So why don't you do that? Switch your position. Advocate that all black men get firearms, all black women go and exercise your Second Amendment rights, and then force them to implement gun control by way of that.
I'll think about that.
I mean, if you really believe in your thesis, I mean, it's a double win for you at that point.
It's a good point, and I've had this debate before. The only reason why I personally can't do that is because I am personally offended by the burgeoning growth and availability and access of guns in our country. So from a purely philosophical perspective, it's not something I could do. But I think strategically, you might make a strong point, and I thank you for the advice.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Right now, there's a culture war against the Second Amendment, which is why I need your help spreading our message to counter their message. You can do this by leaving a comment, sharing this video, and click the bell and subscribe button. Let my voice be your voice, and let them know you want to keep America tactical, because the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed wasn't a suggestion. It was a directive.
Also, if you're wondering where to get your I will not comply, I lost all of my guns in a boating accident, the AR-15 is protected by the Second Amendment, and your state-specific Keep America Tactical shirts, click the links in the description section of this video.